Hello out there, everyone. Cassandra Maki, continuing with my sweet summer Oni. And since it's the summertime, it's the perfect time of year to do this. Oh, and if you just joined, you're welcome. Glad you made it here, and I hope you enjoy your stay. And always remember that the most important character of the story is you, the reader. Well, let's get it up. Continue. Get lost. It's been a week since the Oni sisters arrived at my house, and things have gotten stranger every week. I walk out into the living room to try and get some vacuuming done, but I find Kitty sleeping in the middle of the floor snoring. She keeps stuffing herself with sugary sweets and passing out. I already got the vacuum out. What should I do? Run the vacuum over her panties. I guess she's going to sleep in the middle of the floor. She can't complain about this. I vacuum with no hesitation. As the vacuum rolls over her back, she doesn't flinch. So nice. She goes back to snoring. Seriously? This girl can sleep through anything. So Marie rushes into the room. With no hesitation, she kicks Cadet in the ribcage. Damn, that had her hurt. Summary. I crouch to see if Caddy's alright, and am shocked to see her pennies simply open her eyes. Is there a problem, Suri? You can't see I'm trying to nap here? Katie stretches and exposes her stomach and legs. Instantly, my face feels hot. Summery gives me a dirty look. I flinch and avert my eyes. I'm in a frenzy. Summery tosses a blanket over Katie. Yeah, I can see that you're trying to nap. That's a problem. Kitty yawns lazily. She turns on her side, cuddling the pillow. I don't know. Doesn't seem like a problem to me. Summery snatches the pillow out from under her panties head. Katie hits the head on the ground with a loud thump. Katie rolls her eyes. You're a big slop than you were at home. I didn't even know that was possible. All you do is eat sugar and lounge on the house. And you do it with hardly any clothing on. How can you do that with a man around? He's not a man, he's our housemate. And I'm sure he thinks you're treating me unfairly, don't you? They both look at me. Whose side should I choose? Katie, I hate to say it, but you probably shouldn't sleep in the middle of the floor. Somebody smiles back at me, but Katie does not. Oh, wipe that look off your face. It's 2 versus 1, Katie. I guess I could try sleeping in the bed from now on. Eating less sugar. Katie stands up and stretches. Yeah, I could definitely try sleeping in my bed from now on. Katie yawned and starts making her way back down the hall. Yep, I'm definitely going to sleep in my bed from now on. Katie, come on. What about the sugar? Summer chases after Katie. Later that day, I sit in the backyard reading manga. The back door opened and so hard it sounds like it's going to shatter. Sorry, John. Have you looked at the kitchen lately? I made a sandwich earlier. Summer races into the garden and grabs my hand. Her fingers intertwine with mine and she drags me inside. Summer stops at the edge of the kitchen. It takes her a moment to realize she's still holding my hand. She lets go, her cheeks tinged with red. Sorry, I needed you to see this. See what? Summer opened several cabinets and then the fridge. Every last soda is gone. Every cookie, cupcake, and candy bar is gone. Wait, I just restocked yesterday. What happened to everything? Katie happened. That's what I'm trying to tell you, Utsuro-chan. Katie is really going to hurt herself eating all this. Samurai tough fades for an instant. For the split second, I see concerned sister. So she really was right earlier. Sumrain, if you want, I can talk to her. Pennies! She might listen if it comes from me. Sumrain nods with gratitude. She gently pats her hand on my shoulder. Thanks, Utsuro-chan. And good luck, seriously. You're gonna need it. I knock on Katie's bedroom door. My heart beats faster than usual. How am I even going to go about this? Before I have time to think, the door flies open. Katie stands in the doorway, stuffing her face with powdery donuts. The white powder coats her lips and fingers. Did I miss dinner? No, I had to talk to you about something. Is it about sleeping on the floor? Because that's not happening anymore. I peek in and see a mountain of wrappers everywhere. Look, I even put a blanket on the bed. No, it's nothing to do with that. There's no easy way to go about this, so I'll just come out and say it. You need to eat less sugar. Or, I'd appreciate if you did. Katie rolls her eyes, but she still playfully smirks. Everything is kind and like a game to her. Pennies! Why is that, Utsuro-chan? What should I say? It's not good for you, Katie. Katie smirks, morphs into a genuine smile. Wait, are you actually worried about me? I rub my hands to the back of my neck uncomfortably. It's not been long, but I really am worried about her. Pennies! I mean, of course I do. Katie's eyes flick to the ground, her smile growing. I've never seen her act shy before. I'm sorry, I've been eating so much junk and sleeping whenever. I'll be more careful. Well, Say, like only 5 boxes of cookies per day? Per day? I think it would be the best if you stopped cold turkey. Cold turkey? Why would I eat cold turkey? I mean, I think you need to stop eating junk food completely. Katie stares at me with a blank expression. Suddenly, she bursts out laughing. I find myself smiling. Okay, if I'm going to stop cold, I need to go all out tonight. She was close to getting it right. Why don't I take you to the shop? My treat. Katie jumps in the air. Her eyes sparkle with delight. A tiny drop escapes from her lips. What are we standing here for? Let's go. Yeah, let's blow. A bit later, we both sit down in the sweet shop. Katie gazes around at everything and the air smells like dough and sugar. Why didn't you tell me this place existed? She flips open the menu. Her eyes look like they're going to pop out of her head. Grapes? Dafuku? Mochi? They have everything. Yes, they do have a lot. I can't believe we were stuck in the 9th century. I can't believe I missed out on this place like this. I can't keep my eyes off her. Pennies! Can I take your order? Katie plops the menu in his arms and with conviction. We'll have 2 of everything. My heart drops. I look at the menu, which easily has over 50 items. I'm sorry, 2 of everything? Katie, that's a lot of... Her enthusiasm smile drops. Oh, God, I can't take that. I hand the menu to the waiter. Yeah, 2 of everything, please. In a confused day, the waiter wanders off. You're gonna love this. As long as I'm with her pennies, I think I'll love everything. After about half an hour later, the waiter drops off our food. Is everything to feed an army? While I look at the table rather intimidated, Katie looks at it like she won the lottery. Thank you so much, sir. I hesitate, waiting for Katie to dig in, but she doesn't. I look up to find her looking between me and the food. Is something wrong? Only then I realize tears are welling up in her eyes. No. This is the greatest thing ever. Where do we start? I can't stop myself from smiling. I've never seen her pennies this enthusiastic before. How about this? I pick up a small slice of cheesecake. It's one of my favorites. She leans back in shock. Why is it jiggling like that? Without waiting for an answer, she digs a fork and takes a bite. She practically melts into the chair. A whimper of joy escapes her lips. I think if Summer knew sugar could taste like this, she'd want me to have it. And hand her another plate. Should we bring her back a slice? Katie shakes her head and grabs the plate from me. She wouldn't love it the way it deserves to be loved. Myself, on the other hand, you know how to love the cheesecake right way. Katie winks. She gracefully plops a piece of cake in her mouth. And don't you forget it. For the next few minutes, we circle around the table, tasting everything. But then I glanced up to find Katie's eyes on mine rather than the food. There's a gentleness in them I've never seen before. The moment I lock eyes with her, Penny, my heart stops. Is everything okay? You know, this is the first time it's just the two of us. She's right. We've never really been alone together. It's almost like a date, isn't it? Suddenly, I've forgotten how to speak. I open my mouth, but no words come out. Katie smiles politely and hands me a glass of water. You know, I've never been on a date before. Where we're from, men aren't exactly letting you to date us. Her eyes flick to the ground. Is she shy, uncertain? Have you ever been on a date with a girl before? What do I tell her? Pennies! Not really. I've always been uncomfortable around women. Katie leaned forward, placing her hand over mine. It floods me with confidence. Is this tender moment? I always get tongue-tied and awkward and just unsure of myself. Katie squeezes my hand lightly, drawing my eyes to hers. I hope you feel comfortable with me at least. We're really, really lucky to have found you. The waiter arrives to the table, cutting this moment short. My hair races in the aftermath. We have your last 25 plates here. We both look at the table, which is riddled with half-empty plates. We're never going to finish this all. Do you want to take this back to the house? Maybe we could sit in the backyard and continue this conversation. Kitty nods enthusiastically. We start the long walk home, boxes piled high. Katie's gaze is fixed at the sunset and, I think the sunset is prettier here. Maybe it's because the humans don't hate us. She says it like a joke, but there's an undeniable weight on her words. I can't imagine how hard it was for you. It's easy to forget how that we're here. We all feel so much lighter without our powers. What were your powers exactly? Katie glances around to make sure no one else is listening, but the streets are utterly calm, vanished in the color of the sunset. I had the ability to manipulate poison. She pauses for a moment, slowly places her hand on my face. I freeze under the touch drawn into her eyes. By just touching someone, I can kill them. I don't even flinch. In the fact, I stare even deeper into her eyes, drawn to her vulnerability. She lowers her hand gently. I would never do it on purpose. None of us would. Summary's powers are too plentiful to name. And Susanna brought misfortune to anyone who wronged her, but we never used our power for evil. We only used our power to drive off humans that hunted us. We only used them in self-defense. We've been misunderstood and chased out of our whole lives. Her hand finds mine. Until now. This is the first time we've been free, and we have you to thank for that. Katie glances away from me, her cheeks reddening. So thank you. I'm happy to have you, really. Before I can get another word, she walks away, beckoning me to follow her. Pennies! We sit in the backyard by the flickering candlelight. With her sisters fast asleep, we have the space to ourselves. I glance at Katie in the moonlight. There's a maturity in her I've never noticed before. What are you doing there, Utsuro-chan? Her voice is taunting me playfully. I was, well, what do I say to her? Pennies! I was looking at, Katie leans back in surprise. Her lips are slightly ajar. A mischievous grin shines in her eyes. I thought you were shy and bad around girls, Utsuro-chan. She leans in close, her gaze unwavering. Her hand lands on my thigh. Electricity, desire shoots through my body. Because it seems to me you're being pretty forward right now. While you were feeling brave, I might as well ask, are you attached to me? I don't hesitate. I am, of course I am. Katie's hand slides a little higher on my thigh. I feel like I can't breathe. I've caught you staring a few times. She leaned in dangerously close. Her hand is practically on my crotch. Is this really going to happen? And every time I caught you staring, what I thought? I could practically feel her lips on mine. What? Suddenly, Katie flicks me in the forehead. I fly back in shock. But I wish he would knock it off. I feel redness washing over my face, but when I see the spark in her eyes, my embarrassment fades. She's just playing games with me, like she always does. I don't think that's true anymore. You don't, huh? You might be right. After a few hours later, we've nearly polished off the rest of the sweets. We both lounge on the lawn chairs, delightfully full. I pick up the final sweet and try to hand it to Katie, but she is curled up, her eyes barely open. Utsuro-chan, I'm too sleepy to eat. I think I'm too sleepy to do anything. I might be able to help. With a smile, I rush to her side and scoop her up in my arms. She laughs sleepily, wrapping her arms around my neck. Holding her like this feels right. You're sure you can carry me after eating all those sweets? We probably just gained 20 pounds. I could never leave you out in the cold. I struggle to open the door as I hold her. Pennies! You're light as a feather. She's not. I strain, trying to desperately to grab the door while holding her. Pennies! Really? Light as a feather? Really? Because it sure doesn't sound like it. Sorry, for a moment, I stopped trying to open the door. I've never carried anyone like this before. I didn't really think the whole getting the door open thing, though. It's okay, take your time. I could just sleep in your arms instead. Honestly, I'd be willing to stand here holding her all night. Katie dramatically drops her head on my shoulder. She fake snores, enjoying her silly performance for a moment. Ever so often, she pops her eyes open to check if I'm still watching. With every glance she gives me, her sleepy smile grows more and more and more. It'd be the shame if something happened while you were sleeping. I drop Katie for an instant before catching her again. Utsuro-chan. She giggles, wraps her arms around my neck for support. Not a very deep sleeper, I see. Katie gazes up at me. The stars are reflecting in her eyes. Our smiles fading slowly, lost in a moment of connection. You know, in the 100 years I've been on Earth, not once have I been held like this. It pains me to hear. My hands instinctively wrap around her a little tighter. Why is that? It's hard to get close to people. I know what you mean. That's never been my strong suit. It seems like we're both getting a lot better at that. I smile at her. Pennies! I think you're right about that. The last I managed to open the door and get inside. With the last bit of my strength, I plop Katie on the bed. Instantly, her eyes close. I hover her over her awkwardly. Did she really fall asleep? Really? I leaned forward, trying to make sense of her darkness, and only then I do realize she has one eye open and a smile on her face. She reaches up and pulls me down onto the bed. Whoa! I land inches away from her. Pennies! She smiles at me, satisfied. Did I get you with the sleeping trick again? That time, yes. The first time out of the backyard, not so much. Kate laughs quietly. She moves a little closer to me until her lips are a tantalizing distance from mine. So does this mean I get this taxi service when I'm sleepy? That might be pushing it. Katie stretches sleepily. I find my eyes tracing the shape of your body. My eyes slowly dart back up to meet hers. I instantly shrink away, my face turning red. I stare too long. I expect a flick on the forehead, but Katie simply smirks at me. I'll let that one slide, but only because I have a favor to ask you. What's that? I ask a bit too eagerly. Katie giggles, drawing me a bit closer. Can you stay until I fall asleep? Of course. I settle into the bed. You feel lonely? I feel safe with you here. My heart swells. I don't have my powers, remember? I can't kick that much ass on my own anymore. Only like 30 or 40 guys. We both laugh, our hands resting on the same pillow. As our laughter subsides, I watch her beautiful eyes close. Slowly her chest begins to rise and fall. Her muscles relax as she inches deeper, closer for the sleep. Her hand gazes mine. Thank you, Utsuro-chan. Slowly I stand up and head out to the bed. When I open the door, the shiver of light illuminates a pleased smile on her lips. The next morning, I awaken to the smell of something sweet cooking. I wander to the kitchen to find Katie standing over a pile of crepes. They are coated with chocolate, strawberries, and whipped cream. Katie, that's like entirely sugar. No, they aren't. They have flour and milk and sugar. And it's that chocolate on top. Katie raises an eyebrow. I made you one special, you know. She picks up a plate. There is a single crepe with a heart made of chocolate on top. Are you saying you don't want to eat with me? I sighed, defeated. Grab a fork. Katie blissfully eats across from me. These girls are going to keep me busy. Alright, everyone, I'm calling this the end of the episode for tonight. If you all liked the video, punch that like button in the face like a boss and high fives all around. And if you just joined, you're welcome. Glad you made it here. Hope you enjoy your stay, and always remember that the most important character story is you, the reader. Cassandra Maki out.